true colors have grown.
What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and this week, DSP does the most boring interview ever with Wings of Redemption. He also tries to give him health advice. He admits to spending over $50K on WWE champions and tax fraud. He says his hormones are going crazy because he's working out. And he also declares that KickChat is screwing him by not giving him money. That is right. There is so much to cover this week. Let's get started on Sunday, and the very first thing we see is DSP's placeholder for the interview with Wings of Redemption. And DSP put his face on the AI body, but just put a random fat guy on Wings of Redemption's body. Then he starts up and says he knows nothing about Wings of Redemption, and I point out, it's not like you react to a documentary of him. Oh wait, he did. And this is hilarious. So DSP says he did his research on Wings of Redemption by watching his Raw stuff and his Detractor stuff. And spoilers, during the interview, he admits he never watched the Raw stuff from Wings of Redemption, only the Detractor stuff. Yet when everyone brings up Detractor stuff about him, it's all lies. They're all mean to him, it's slander, you should watch the Raw stuff. But for Wings of Redemption, all he watches is Detractor content.
So, I would like input on this tomorrow. What's going to happen? What do you guys think? Are there things I should know? Are there things you want me to bring up? I'm not saying I'm going to bring them up, but I'd like to be informed if you guys have things to talk about or things to bring. You know what I'm saying? I tried to do as much research as I could by watching his content and, to be honest, watching some Detractor content, because you get to both sides. You can see the Raw stuff, but then you can also see their take on what he's saying, and they usually add background and context of stuff to try to figure out what exactly is going on. And to be frank with everyone, all right, I've watched this stuff, and after watching it, I didn't run for the hills. I didn't say, oh, absolutely not. There probably are some people that if I actually learned more about them, about what's going on with them and why people don't like them on the internet and shit, I'd probably be like, oh God, I don't want to touch that with a 100-foot pole. But in this case, I honestly didn't see much at all, besides things that people have been repeating for a zillion years and or stuff that I feel was blown way out of context. But maybe that's stuff to talk about too. I don't know.
And then DSP claimed he offered half the money for his pre-stream interview with Wings of Redemption, but Wings of Redemption turned it down. It reminds me a lot of Project 7, just saying. Then you can see how lazy, how pathetic this is. He says he has no idea what he wants to talk to Wings about, and has no questions in mind for him because he doesn't have an agenda, unlike side-scrollers. The people he lied to for 5 hours straight. Then someone suggested he put artwork, self-made, in the background, and DSP said he is not a child. He does not do arts and crafts, despite doing Legos and all the other stuff. And says if you're an adult and you do arts and craft, you have no skill or intelligence. DSP then showed off his new wrist guard, which is a baguette. And of course, it was his wife that pointed it out to DSP. And he was confused. He thought she was hungry again.
My wife saw this at a store. She was like, come over here. I was like, what? She goes, are you hungry? I said, what do you mean? No, well, I'm not hungry yet. We didn't eat too long ago.
And this is really sad. It happens all the time, actually. A viewer gave DSP $10 to say that it was their birthday, and they got engaged. Imagine giving someone money because it's your birthday. Absolutely pathetic, but they are dented after all. Then the topic of Wings of Redemption throwing down his wife, and then in the car slapping and grabbing her arm. And DSP says it's no big deal. People need to get lives, they need to go outside. Remember too, he was all up in people's businesses saying that Kat's ex-boyfriend abused her. He was hitting her. But now if it's somebody else like Wings of Redemption who he wants to suck up to and work with, it's okay. It's no big deal, dude.
Yeah, no. People are saying his friend was in the backseat filming and he slapped his wife's arm. Oh, no. What? Oh, no. Alert the authorities. Quickly. How much time do you spend online? Oh, man. How much time do you spend online, folks? Really? Can I ask you that?
And now DSP is going to complain that people don't have social lives, they don't go outside. All because he doesn't know what cry bully means. Which Poems Past points out, it was an offline 90s term, which he should have known about because he was offline. And of course, anytime there's a meme or a joke he doesn't know about, he doesn't understand, it's automatically stupid. And people need to get lives. Go outside. Touch grass, dude.
You really have to start understanding something. I've tried to explain this recently. I don't think people get it. So I'm 43 years old. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I grew up with an offline existence. So I had friends. I had hobbies. Physical, tangible things that I did. You know, I always was playing outside with others. Toys, sports. But also, I was also kind of a nerd at the time as well. I was into video games. I was into comic books, collectibles, that kind of stuff. It wasn't until the late 90s when I was already a teenager that the internet took off. And when the internet took off, that's when everyone started to live online. Now, I wasn't full-time back then because there was no way you could. There wasn't enough content. But what happened is over the last 20, 25 years, the world changed. Now, everything is immediately online, instant gratification, news, games, information. Everything is online, right? There's entire culture based only online. Online terminology, memes and shit, okay? But I don't live online. Do I have an online presence? Absolutely I do. I've been a YouTuber for 17 plus years. And before that even, I had an online presence in the Street Fighter community. So obviously I have a huge digital footprint when it comes to being online and all of that. But I have a separation of life between when I'm online and offline. When I'm right now online with all of you, right? This is my stream. This is my business. We hang out. We talk about games. We talk about all kinds of shit. That's my online presence. But the moment that this is off, it's not even in my mind. I'm spending time with my wife and my family, and I'm doing shit that's way more important over here that has nothing to do with what happens inside of this room. Okay? For you, probably just live online 24/7. Which is why when you do a $2 super chat and you ask me about, is it fair to call people or call you cry bully? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care either. I don't care to learn this ridiculous nonsense that you're now pulling out of your ass, some new term that some idiot made up overnight, and now every fucking moron regurgitates it on the internet because it's a groupthink mentality. If we all say the same word and we kind of recognize the meaning behind it, the meme, oh, we're smart and we feel like we belong to something. You do. You belong to ridiculous online antisocial behavior. Your mind is cracked, okay? Like, I don't care what cry bully means. I'm sure it's insulting. I don't have time for you. All right? I have important things to talk about.
So back in the day, DSP did fundraisers to pay his taxes, to save the house. And one fundraiser he did, right before he left to get married, didn't tell anyone, was for his taxes. And then his mother paid for his plane ride, paid for his wedding, and offered to pay for his honeymoon, but DSP said, I got all these back taxes, I'd rather have the money. And that's where the 10-year plan came from. In 10 years, he would get off the internet, get a real job, because online is not sustainable. And DSP does what DSP does. He screwed his mom over, took the money, lied to her face, and refused to get a job offline. And now he's going to try and retcon that and say that he didn't need the 10-year plan. Everything worked out because someone called him out saying, weddings are expensive. And DSP said, yeah, I know all about that. And then someone brought up, but your mom paid for the wedding. And then we got this from DSP.
Then he went to Connecticut. He spent all the money on a trip to Connecticut to get married. That didn't happen at all. I literally didn't spend $1 of my own money while in Connecticut. $0 were spent. All the money was spent on the taxes. And then the more money that my mom gave me was also spent on the taxes to pay them all off so that I was good. I was even. So they made that up. Now, where's their evidence? Oh, well, the evidence is that you've lied about other things. That's not evidence of this. That's like saying So someone once did something bad. That's just evidence that they've always did things bad forever. You can just infinitely accuse them of anything you want forever because you think that they did something bad once. No, that's not how life works. That's not how life works in reality, in fantasy, in a court of law. That's not how it works. Like, nowhere does it work like that. Only in your broken, twisted, terminally online fantasy world of circle jerking detractorism does that actually like hold water. Normal people don't think like you because normal people aren't stunted. They didn't grow up online. They actually did things in real life. They needed intelligence to do them. You know, it's the problem with this generation. The generation of the stunted. It really is. It's pretty sad. This is the world we're growing up in. Everyone around me is like half retarded. They can't even do basic shit. Basically, she wanted to send us on a honeymoon. She wanted to pay for us to go on a honeymoon. And I said, Mom, what's the point of my wife and I going on a honeymoon if we come home and we can't pay our taxes and then we lose our house? Right? But what's the point of that? I said, if you're going to give us money, we got to put it towards the thing that's important, keeping our house. So if you're going to offer a trip we can't accept, if you're going to offer us some money so we can put it towards the most important things like keeping our house and paying our taxes, then I'll accept. And that was the discussion we had, and she was basically very upset. She wanted us to go on a honeymoon. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? That's not the life I'm in right now. You know? The federal government ain't going to be so happy to know that they're not getting payment from me, but then I went on a fucking trip. You know? You know, that's not how it works, right? So my mom ended up giving me some money. I used it to combine with the money that I had raised on the streams with the money my mom had given me. I paid the taxes, and the taxes got paid, and I was good. And then you all know the story. I went through a bankruptcy and all of that, and now I'm in a much, much, much better position. You know, never going to go back to that situation ever again. But, you know, learn my lesson, the stupid mistakes that I made, and that's that. So
Now remember when he said he paid the taxes back. We have Narcside Phil, had $15K in back taxes 2017. Had the Save the House fundraisers 2017 to 2019. Got married 2019 instead. Mom gave him $10K for taxes 2019. So he now has money from the Save the House fundraisers, and also his tax fundraisers, and the money from his mom. We go to 2022, he declares bankruptcy, still owes $15K in back taxes. So you're telling me, the money you got from the fundraisers, the money you got from your mom, did not go to back taxes because you still owe that at bankruptcy. You refused to go on a honeymoon with your wife, to this day still, and you spent that all on WWE champions for your own selfish needs. And it tells you how little you think of your wife. And then someone suggested that he play Tormented Souls 2 at nighttime and said he would support it. And all of a sudden, because that one guy, it got moved to the night stream. I wonder if there's a whale lined up for this. And DSP's always complaining that modern fighting games are trash, they're terrible, he wants more retro games. And then Tekken 3 gets added to PlayStation Plus. And DSP says he's not gonna play it because it's an old game. Make that make sense. And now DSP's gonna claim he clapped back at Mike Watson and shut him down and won. And that they're just coping and seething now. This man truly lives in a world inside his head.
Donald actually made a good point in chat too. He says, so you see these people, they bring it up, right? They all want to bring this nonsense up. And they do. So then all of a sudden it gets addressed. They get completely destroyed, like always. So then they either say it's boring. Why is he bringing this up again? Because you did. Or they just move on to the next topic. You're right. They're eternal losers. The only reason that people act like this is because they have no life. They literally, their entire existence is right now online, trolling someone. They have nothing for themselves at all. No positivity, nothing to show for anything. So all they do is they crap on others. They're insanely angry and jealous at everything around them in the world. So they have to lash out at those things to try to make themselves feel better. Bring down everyone else because you're not happy. Listen, I've been there. I told you guys when in the 2000s, that was me. 100%. I've admitted it. When I was in my 20s, I hated my life. I thought that everything was going the wrong direction. I thought that I had wasted all the time that I'd spent in school, first of all, which was a lot of my youth. I was sitting in school going to classes that were completely worthless and got me nothing and went nowhere. I put myself into a bunch of debt going to college, which I thought was a complete scam and waste of my time. The jobs I had, I hated. Okay. The only thing I really had for me was competitive Street Fighter, which that I was getting burnt out on, didn't like. You know, like a lot of things were just going the wrong way. So I became an online troll. I started trolling people in the Street Fighter community and acting like a jerk. And I 100% now, as an intelligent, mature adult, regret that time. 1,000,000%. I've publicly apologized for it. I've privately apologized to certain people who I actually really were mean to back then. And they've accepted my apology, which is amazing that they did that. Very big of them. And I've moved on. 100%. I've moved on from that life, and I'm now a happy, positive, constructive person. I don't need to dwell on the past because I'm past it. The problem is, a lot of people out there who are these online troll communities, they're in that level. They're in their 20s. They're angry at life. They're upset. Why can't I afford a house? Why does my job suck? Why are these people online get all this stuff? I don't like them. So now I'm going to crap on them all day. Right? That's not a good way to go through life. I wish those years that I squandered being an online troll, I wish that I was doing something good for myself. Really, I do. I wish that I was working out. I wish that I was actually doing like more positive, constructive things rather than me just sitting there being angry at people on the internet all day because they were doing better than me. Stupid.
Then DSP gets called a copyright cuck because he keeps saying, I can sue detractors, I can do whatever I want, I can take them down, but then says, I'm not going to take them down because they'll retaliate and they'll strike me, dude. And he gets called a copyright cuck because of that.
Bill's a copyright cuck. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? A copyright cuck? In what regard? I'm probably the most opposite of that. I'm the guy who outright doesn't do anything with copyright on YouTube, despite the fact I very well could flex my right to do so and execute it. I don't. So I guess thanks for the sub.
And then we have PPP's chat 3 a.m. Nobody's more terminally online than you. Get it? I'm surprised you didn't put the word chief in there. Get it, chief? You're scared to have a Discord call for any detractors. If you want to show us proof, then grow a pair. Stop living in an echo chamber, but you won't. And if you're wondering, how it's going for DSP in Silksong, spoilers, not very well, he's still raging and blaming his controller. And even at one point says, there should be checkpoints in between levels. This man acts like he's 70 years old. What a jackass.
What the fuck? Yo, it stopped responding. It's still not responding. Are you kidding? Dude, I give up. The controller fucking sucks. It won't respond. I'm never gonna beat this. The controller doesn't respond. I'm pressing the button. It's delayed, or it's slipping, or it's not accurate. And I'm never gonna beat this. I can't beat this part. No one... Okay, are you gonna answer or not? Is there a checkpoint up there, or should I go to a different checkpoint like the one to the left? I'm not gonna stand here like a fucking idiot. Fuck this. I'm just going to the left to go to a checkpoint. It's so stupid. Okay. Rest for a second. So now, this is the furthest I've gotten. I know that you got to use at least 2 needles, but then I don't know when you're going to change from doing the needle to the air dash, right? Can you double jump straight out of an air dash? Fuck, I don't remember. I really don't remember. I know you can air jump out of the needle. I don't know if you can air jump out of the air dash, like double jump. You can? Okay. That's what I'm thinking is run over needle, then run over air dash jump, run over air dash jump. And then maybe by the end, maybe we're near the end. I'm thinking we're near the end of this because this is so crazy right now. With no checkpoint, you got to think we're nearing the end of this segment. Okay, ready? I go all the way to the left and go to the checkpoint so I have one, or is there going to be another one? If not, I have to fucking go backtrack so much. Fuck it. There are 2 secret bosses and a quest boss here. No one... Okay, are you going to answer or not? Is there a checkpoint up there, or should I go to a different checkpoint like the one to the left? I'm not going to stand here like a fucking idiot. Fuck this. I'm just going to the left to go to a checkpoint. It's so stupid. Jeez.
And again, you know it happens every single time. One person is responsible for him hitting the goal. It's like Groundhog Day. And DSP puts this out before the night stream. Per your request, aka that one guy that said he would give me money, I've moved Tormented Souls 2 to the late stream. Join me tonight. And he's still going on about Kick not supporting him. And he's telling people he only made $7 this morning from Kick, and that's unacceptable. It's nonsense. You better start stepping up. Because he wants that money. He needs that money. He really, really does.
Subs plummeted by over 100 during my 2 days off. I just looked it now because I hadn't looked this morning. And I just looked it now and I was like, oh my God, that's a humongous difference. So that really stinks. We got to get Kick support coming back in a big way. Earlier today, I had 1 sub and 200 or 300 kicks. Not acceptable. We can't have 90 people watching me over there for hours on end and I make $4. Okay, I think in that case, it was like $7 or $8. That's nonsense. So let's go. If you're on Kick and you like the content tonight, support the content. You must. If you don't, well, I'm going to be upset at you. And I'm going to waggle my finger like this and say, how dare you? Because I'm providing you with top quality content. You know that. That's what you're here for. You could be over at some crazy LOLCOW stunt stream. You could be at a stream where someone's screaming profusely, spitting wildly at the camera, flailing their arms about like this, looking like their head's about to fucking explode. But instead, you're here. You're here to chill with me, to enjoy survival horror, to have a good time tonight. And I do have to ask that if you could support the stream, that would be amazing. Because right now, we have so much support lost on Kick, and that is important support. I've got today, tomorrow, and 1 more stream on Tuesday that will count for this week. And I need to basically do well on Kick those streams. So let's go right now. Because earlier today was a disastrous catastrophe on Kick. Absolutely ridiculous. What a fiasco. Am I going to play Terminator 2D? No Fate? Probably not. Casanova.
We have this from Gamer Lenny. You have that mic stabilizer set up wrong. The mic is supposed to be in the middle of it, not the mount dangling. I'm an audio engineer when I'm not gaming, and that's definitely wrong, but whatever you say. And of course, DSP has to tell him how wrong he is. And now he knows better than an audio engineer. And that guy's just a fucking moron, and well, it's the most DSP thing ever.
Whole other Coral Tower dungeon. We beat all that. We beat the boss there. And we got the final needle upgrade of the game. So we did a lot today. Okay, Gamer Lenny, I don't care if you're an audio engineer. It doesn't mean you know what you're talking about at all. You don't. I'm going to say it one more time. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. This is set up correctly. It has been set up correctly all year. It's the only way to mount this microphone to this stabilizer. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. Okay. You know what they say? It's like he says, oh, I'm an audio engineer. Yeah, but you have to understand, there's people that go to school, right? And there's people who pass with A+, and there's people who pass with D-. Okay, Lenny? You're the D-. So you are an audio engineer, but if you don't even understand that this is a special mount for this mic, I don't know how to help you. I don't.
And now DSP is going to go absolutely insane and say that he doesn't have liver spots, even though he's had them for years. He's saying that they are new and they are acne because his hormones are out of control now because he's been working out so much, dude.
Someone tipped me, did a $2 super chat and asked me about why do I have liver spots. I don't. It's called acne. It's the opposite of what you're thinking. Like when you get old and you start to have problems with your organs, you'll get like spots on your skin. No, I actually have acne. I'm actually, since I started working out, my hormones started kicking up again. And so I actually have acne. Like right here, I have a bunch of pimples on the side of my head. It's very annoying. But you think they're liver spots because you're a complete fucking mouth drooling idiot. You're actually that stupid. Like you actually think that a 43-year-old guy who has lost weight and is getting physically fit is getting liver spots. You're that dumb. So thanks for $2, you complete fucking moron.
And then we have this on Kick. Fat Cat's huge ass reel. If you want to know how Tormented Souls 2 is going, look at this. Look at this hand holding from Gareth. You can interact with the person in the middle of the room that you first entered when you entered the Edge Mirror. You can interact with the person in the middle of the room you were at. Hand holding, 101, every single time, 24/7. And then we have this message from Oak. Why are you having another wife beater on the podcast tomorrow? Didn't your wife have an abusive ex? Domestic abuse isn't funny. And Tormented Souls 2 is going as well for DSP as you thought it would. Let's take a look right now.
Ah, you bastards. All right. I know the top and bottom are moving 2 and the sides are moving 3 and it's annoying. I'm really not paying attention. I just want to do it. I want to sit here and fuck with it in my brain. I just want to get it done and it's not really working. Oh, never mind. There we go. Cool. Okay, so Card Counter Bon Clay says, because we hit our goal for tonight, can we get moral support messages back on Kick? Oh, Card Counter Bon Clay, what an excellent question. Did you contribute? Were you the one who hit the goal? Oh. No? Oh. Great Zero, how you doing, man? I think it's Great Zero Taste, by the way. So for the record, many of you may be joining and noticing, why do my name on YouTube, why does it look different? YouTube changed the... Now, for those of you watching over on Kick, all right, stop dragging your feet and get some support going. We lost 100 subs so far. We got like 4 tonight. Let's get the other 96 back. Okay, let's go. What's going on over there?
And of course, that one whale that wanted this game in the night stream, $99, and then leaves, almost like it was prearranged. And DSP now is a success. He says he's better than everyone else, blah blah blah, same old same thing. And I love how he hit the goal, and now, that's not enough. Kick, you better start sending subs right now. Hit a second goal, dude. And then we get to Monday, the interview with Wings of Redemption. He said the internet's been waiting for this, and it was a big wet fart. Nobody wanted this, and it was horrible. And the very first thing we see is that DSP doesn't even know what day it is. As he puts out, Tuesday, it's actually Monday right now, is the big day. Join me for an extra special level 1 podcast where Wings of Redemption will be the guest. So drunk, he doesn't know what day it is. And then even Jade does not like this. He doesn't want this. And he says he doesn't want drama. He's sick of this, dude.
Jade, I think you got the wrong idea because Jade says, I don't like watching this. I'm sick of it. This is not what you think, Jade. This is not drama. I'm not confronting Wings on any issues. He's not confronting me at all. It's not like that. It's, you know, this is actually just a conversation between two guys who've been making content for a very long time and have kind of some similarities in what's happened to them over the years. But we have a lot of differences too, to be frank. We have a lot of differences too.
And he has those big old titties on display today. And now DSP's gonna say how he's above Wings of Redemption. He's better than him. And he better listen to what he has to say, because he's gonna turn Wings of Redemption's life around. Because DSP is the expert on everything, and everybody should be coming to him for advice.
He takes the bait so bad is what it is. He takes the bait constantly, and then his trolls get what they want. They farm him for the content that they want. And I think he can get a lot better at that, but he has to learn. He has to learn that these people are milking him constantly for content. You know, I guarantee you some of his moderators, those people he's playing games with, they're trolls. Or they're people who feed his trolls on purpose. They get their jollies off by feeding his troll communities with shit.
And then in the most DSP thing ever, DSP asks people, what do you want me to ask Wings of Redemption? And then gets upset because the questions are too stupid. Maybe, Phil, just maybe, you should do your own research, ask your own questions. I mean, that's way too much to ask for you. That's work, dude. And DSP does not like work. And now he's trying to retcon the interview with Steve Cambion, saying that it was all pre-planned between him, PPP, and Steve, but Steve went off the grid. He went full regard mode, and he did his own thing, and he screwed over DSP. And now DSP's going to give advice, workout advice, to Wings of Redemption. Because, you know, he's a fitness expert now, dude. And it's amazing how someone can be so far up their ass and lack self-awareness at the same time.
Ask him if he wants to get on my weight training regimen. I don't think he could. For Wings, step one for any kind of a workout or any kind of a health regimen would be he has to change his diet. That's like the numero uno. He has to change his diet because he has to be healthy enough. And his diet is not good. Once he changes his diet and he starts to feel healthier and just naturally lose a little bit of weight, then he could start doing exercise. And, you know, it would be starting low, starting a little bit, and then getting, gradually increasing. But he couldn't just get on my regimen right now. He'd probably blow all his muscles out and hurt himself. Trust me, this is coming from someone who did that. Like, when I first started a few months ago, I went too hard. First, I was trying to do sit-ups. I told you this. I was trying to do the sit-ups, but I was trying to do the kind of sit-ups where as you're sitting up, you purposefully try to clench and tighten the abs muscles. And within 2 sets of doing it, I blew out my freaking back. My back was killing me. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I'm stupid. Why? Because I'm not used to doing it. You got to be used to doing the activity before you can try to go crazy with, increasing the reps and increasing the weight and go, just being stupid. And like I said, I hurt my arm. My arm is just now, after a month, feeling almost natural again. It hurt real bad. Like, it was fucked where I couldn't even extend it all the way or bend it all the way. And it was like bad pain in the joint and all the fucking muscle tendons and shit were all fucked up. I really hurt it. But, I mean, and that's just from normal stuff, Okay. Well, that's not true. Yes, sit-ups are bad for your back in general, but if you build up enough muscle and core strength, they're fine. And that's the thing. I needed to build up enough core strength, and now I have, and I could do them easily, and I could do tons of them. But it was about a gradual thing, not jumping and running into it like an idiot and hurting myself.
And look at this. It finally happened. Wings of Redemption X DSP. It's like 12 or 13 years too late. But of course, that's on brand for DSP to do everything a decade later. And DSP went on a rant about how Wings of Redemption doesn't know how to stream games properly, and how it should be a social interaction, aka beg for money, and that's why people come to him, for his personality, for his charisma. And it's very funny because if money is high, they're here for DSP, for his personality. But if money is low, it's the game's fault because the game didn't entertain them. He is the eternal victim. He did everything correct. He did nothing wrong. And then in a moment that's absolutely delusional that will make Broside Phil lose his mind, DSP said he can do 1 or 2 reps of lifting 200 pounds. And no, we're not talking about his wife. And Wings was pushing back saying, why don't you just take pictures with Kat, random location, you don't have to show anything off. Just show the two of you together and put it on social media. And DSP kept saying, no, I can't do that, blah blah blah. You know he's embarrassed to have a fat land whale like Cat in his house. And then they start talking about the tire story, where his tire got stolen, and Wings of Redemption mentioned the bank leaks during the tire story, and DSP said the bank leaks were years before someone stole his tire. That is right, he accidentally again told on himself that the bank leaks are real and they are his. And of course, this whole interview was DSP asking Wings a question, then turning the question around and saying how it's just like him, and making all the answers about him and how his trolls affected him. DSP's ideal interview is to interview himself. Well, that's basically what happens every single stream, but he just likes to hear himself talk, and today is no different.
Let me put it this way, because I've explained it to my audience, but this is a great opportunity to get it out there so that people kind of understand, because I think a lot of people don't understand. For guys like you and me, all right, we put ourselves out on the internet every single day, right? We're open to scrutiny, we're open to trolling, but we do it on purpose. This is our job, right? It's our job to make the money. So we're doing that every day. But there's people out there who they're not used to that level of scrutiny. They're not used to that level of criticism, trolling, childish insults, all right? Nor should they be. You know, most people who don't stream, don't make videos on the internet have never even experienced that kind of level of bullying like we see every day. We're kind of immune to it because we've been seeing this for how many years? But my wife, she doesn't know about that world, all right? Now, she knows about it because she sees it happen to me on stream every day, but she doesn't experience it. And so back when she moved in with me in 2018, it was actually our intention originally that we were going to do some content together. Maybe like once a month, we do a Q&A video with the audience and we'd hang out and have, you know, fun conversation with them. And then maybe she would do some gameplay. And this culminated in 2018's Halloween special. She dressed up in a Halloween costume along with me. And we were doing the stream together, playing Silent Hill. And the trolls came by and they said such vile, disgusting things about her on that stream that she literally saw it in a chat, shut down completely. Like, she couldn't help it, you know? It's just the natural reaction. She just shut down. Off stream, we took a break. She's like, I can't do this. She's like, I thought I could. I thought I was built for it. I'm not. I don't want to be in your content if this is how it's going to be. This is like really messed up. What's going on? I said, I completely understand. And I did the rest of that marathon by myself, despite the fact that it had been planned to be both of us on there. She didn't even appear in my content until 2024 again. I want you to think about that length of time. 6 years away from that crap where she wanted nothing to do with it. The only reason she came back is because it had been so long and we actually really wanted to play Yakuza Like a Dragon together. Well, actually, it was Infinite Wealth because it had this mode that was very similar to Animal Crossing. And we had played Animal Crossing together offline in 2020 and actually loved it. But, we could do a virtual island together. And we brainstormed this idea. Let's have her come back and do this content with me. So she did. And obviously, anyone can see, in those streams, she had gained weight since 2018. 6 years had passed. A lot had happened, all right? The thing is, I don't tell anyone about it.
And then they start talking more about the tire story, and Wings of Redemption is not buying his story. And he keeps calling out DSP on his lies. And DSP kept saying, the cops did nothing. They didn't find the person. They didn't investigate. They didn't do blah, blah, blah. And it's lie after lie about the story of his tire being stolen.
There's one I have to talk about. And I've always wondered, because the one I took offense to, because I'm a car guy.
Okay.
Right? I'm a car guy. Like, I know cars. What is the true story behind the Corolla wheel?
The Corolla wheel? I don't know what that is.
There was a situation, I think Kat was at work, and you stated that somebody stole one of the wheels off of your car.
Yes.
Just one single wheel.
Correct. Yes. That's what happened.
Is that the true story?
100%.
It wasn't that your wife like curbed the fuck out of it and it blew the tire.
No.
They just went and took just one wheel.
I'm sitting here streaming, okay, and I get a text from my wife who's getting out of work and normally would just be driving home, and she says, I really don't know what to do. Our entire wheel is missing from the car. I said, my reaction was exactly like yours. I was like, that can't really be what happened. There's got to be something going on here. So I'm trying to get the real story out of her. And she's like, no. And she takes a picture. My car is on a fucking tire jack. The entire wheel assembly has been removed, missing. And they left the jack.
at least they left the jack. At least it wasn't on the ground.
Yeah.
But
And
one of the issues I have with this picture, I don't know if you've seen this picture in a while, but like, and the reason I was like, that this can't be the true story, because like she's parked in a way that she's taking up like 3 parks. Like she's not directly in a park. Like the car is like sitting slightly slanted. And then you could see like the wheels missing and the jack's there. And it's like, huh.
Oh, I have no idea about that. When I got there,
this is deep within like you had the person linked your bank stuff.
Oh, that was way earlier. That was like 3-4 years earlier before that, because this is only like 2 years ago.
It might feel like the same, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I don't know about the parking position. I know that was a mall parking lot, and obviously mall parking lots, who knows how they paint the lines in that? I have no fucking clue. But
And then we have Broside Phil, who shows off the actual police report from that incident. And the biggest, most obvious lie about this is that this right here is her weight, 160 pounds. So you're telling me DSP a year or 2 ago at 200 pounds weighed more than his wife? That's an absolute lie right there. And then Wings of Redemption decided to give DSP a wrestling quiz where he messed up every single answer. For an example, he asked DSP, who is the very first Universal Champion? And DSP said, wasn't it Finn Balor? Which is the correct answer. But Wings of Redemption said, no, it's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was the first undisputed champion, not the very first Universal Champion. He fucked up multiple answers. And then they're going to talk about, this is how you don't play. And Wings is going to say, I found you through that. And I know you hate This Is How You Don't Play. And Phil's going to say, I don't hate them anymore. When they first came out, I did. But I'm all cool with them now. Even though if you look at the Doom clips, the Mario Kart clips, the Sonic clips, all the other stuff, he rages about all those clips and people laughing at him. History repeating itself.
you know,
But you
like,
said you busted your butt to get through the game as quickly as humanly possible as a way to get the game out as fast as possible. But you still do that. And it's probably how I found you again, because you had This Is How You Don't Play series. And I know you fucking hate these things.
I don't hate This Is How You Don't Play anymore. That's for sure. Like I did at first.
Yeah.
I don't care about it anymore. I honestly, I wish more people would make This Is How You Don't Play, and less people would just make shit up about my personal life and shit. You know what I mean? Like say my gameplay sucks and laugh at how bad my gameplay is. I'm cool with that, as long as you're not saying horrible things about my family and fucking, stuff that's just not true.
That's because the bar's been raised. They've been slowly raising the bar. I remember
And then remember last week when DSP said he could beat Wings in a fight. He would be like a twinkle toe boxer, dance around him, and knock him out. Now he's just saying he wouldn't even hit him, he would gas him out. And of course, Wings pushed back on that, saying that he can cut off the ring and take him down. And DSP just laughed about that. And now, DSP's gonna admit his WWE champion spending. But not only that, is that he knows the shortcuts. And he even cheats in WWE champion so he can get a higher win rate and spend more money.
For you right now.
why don't you play WWE Champions?
I did. I played it last year. I made a whole bunch of videos on it, and I spent money on it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, say because like if you put your name into like Google, you know how like Google has like this AI thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the first thing that pops up about you is like the WWE Champions thing.
I know, it's stupid, isn't it?
But it's like, is it real? Did you really spend like a sports car worth of money on this game?
Well, the game. Let's give you a full background. The game came out in 2017. Okay, It's been out since then, so it's like over 8.5 years. The game's been out. Since the game came out, yeah, I spent a lot of money on it for sure. 100%.
Because like I've seen numbers, and like I'm like, these numbers can't be real, because like people were like basing it off like your bank account leaks and everything else. And it's like Phil has spent like $100,000 off this game in the last 10 years.
The truth is, I have absolutely no clue how much I've spent. I don't. I really don't. I never tallied it all up or whatever. But the numbers that these people use are always erroneous, because here's why. The way mobile games work, there's two ways to buy in a mobile game. You can either buy directly through the mobile game, and that's expensive as fuck, or they all have ways to bypass the game and buy outside because they get the money directly, and then the Apple Store or fucking Google Store don't get a cut, okay? People who actually play these games for real don't ever spend money in the game. You'd be an idiot.
So you perfected the art of getting to the slot machine. Like instead of paying the slot machine's fee, you're like, I'm gonna pay the slot machine repair guy's fee.
Yeah, why on earth would you buy full price ever? You don't. And depending on where you buy, you can get credits that now you get free shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they base all their calculations on if I was a complete fucking idiot and I opened my wallet and tossed money at the game, I spent $100,000. No, I didn't spend $100,000. That's a moron that does that. You use the ways that they provide to save the money, to get the discount, to have the character. By the way, so for example, there's an event going on, right? If you have the character from last month that was the new character in the game, you already beat the event. You didn't have to spend any money because that's how it's built.
But you say it's more, spend $100,000, but like people are going to take that. Like even if you got 50% off, that's still $50,000 of $100,000. That's a Chevrolet Tahoe.
You're right.
Like
you're absolutely right. And I think what it is everyone has something that they like to spend money on, right?
Here's the hard question, Phil. Here's the hard question. What was going on in your life at the time that made you go to WB Champions to get to that point where it's like you had to do this? Like what was the appeal of it? Like did you like being high on the leaderboard? Did you like just being good at the game? Was it something you did while you were like inebriated? Like what headspace are you in when you're buying like $200 worth of this stuff?
It depends. Like for example, at first, whenever you start playing something new, and there's the feeling, the endorphin rush that, oh, if I just buy something immediately, I get a bunch of the top tier shit, and now it's like a shortcut into winning. It's not like us playing console games where you want to earn it. In these games, it's literally spend to win. Everyone knows that about mobile games. It's spend to win. So you spend, you immediately get to win. You immediately get that, I level up the good new character. I'm kicking ass. I'm beating all the game modes and stuff like that. For me, mobile games have literally never been more than just a way to have something passively relaxing to do in the background. I never sit here and I'm like, I'm going to play WWE Champions for 4 hours straight right now. It's never happened. I'll do that, but something else is going on. Or, you know what I mean?
I don't knock people for spending money in games because like people spend money to entertain themselves all the time. Like that's not a knock I have. I'm just curious about the mindset that people have to be in there, because people go to the bar and drink fucking $200 away. I don't give a fuck if you do that or you want to buy the new skin on Rainbow, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy in life. We're here for a short time, not a long time. You know, like nothing we do actually ever fucking matters. In a long enough timeline, Hitler disappears, right?
Eventually.
I'm just saying, eventually it's like, I bet there's like, if I ask you right now, like Chinese dictator names from like the 16th century,
right?
Most people don't know who they are,
right?
A bit, long enough time, like everything goes away. But I just find it funny is like you said you play him passively and you do all this stuff and I always feel like failure is a recipe for success. And I've looked at your record and it's something like 2,000 some wins and like 17 losses or something like that. Some very obscure number. I don't know the exact numbers, but like it's very lopsided. You have like a 95% win rate or something.
Oh,
like
in the game, like the game's matches and stuff. Oh, do you know why? Because in the game you just cheat.
Yeah, but
all
did
you
get
gotta
caught
do,
up in like did you get caught up in camaraderie and stuff like that? Because you're in clans.
Oh, so if you're playing the game and you're about to lose a match, you close the app and it doesn't count.
Oh, so you're a plug puller.
Then he also said about his WWE champions, my clan relied on me, and you just kind of do it. And Broside Phil points out, all this while he was begging to save the house and pay his taxes. Then we have this super chat. You were so brave today, admitted to spending fan donos raised for taxes on WWE champions, even though it means you committed bankruptcy fraud. And then DSP had his decompression stream, where he shit all over Wings, and said how much better he is than Wings. He's healthier, he's fitter, and Wings of Redemption better take his advice and implement them in his life. And then people pushed back saying that he talked over Wings the entire interview and wouldn't let him speak. And this is DSP's response.
You need to let the other guy talk more? This was a level 1 podcast for Wings, but your interview was about you and not the guest. Are you kidding me? I let him go on and on about a lot of stuff. I let him ask me a whole 10 questions about WWE. What are you talking about? I think that you should, if that is your case, I think you need to actually start measuring for real how long one versus the other person talked. I really don't feel like it was an 80-20 interview. I think
And you can tell the mentality of DSP, because in life, doesn't matter what age you are, you always try and grow and become better and expand your mind. But DSP says now that he's 43, he doesn't need to grow anymore. He just wants people to give him money no matter what he's doing and not care about his content. And after all the fitness advice, including not eating junk food on stream, DSP decides to down an entire pizza from Domino's on stream for DSP Tries It. And look at this title, looking at the pizza, like, oh my god, please dudes, hide my pizza before my big fat wife comes in and steals it from me, dude. Then Nick Smith asked, has your wife lost weight since she was last on? And DSP said, she's lost a lot of weight, she's healthy now, dude. Absolute lie from the biggest liars of liars. And then DSP said he got his back blown out doing sit-ups. No, I believe he got your back blown out by Tyrone. And remember yesterday when he kept complaining there's no subs on Kick, and then looked at how many he got for the day? Well, this is 24 hours later when someone asked him how many subs he got today.
how many subs did I get today? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't ever look at that. Like, I never look at sub count ever. Never ever. I pay no attention to that.
And then DSP says this year for Thanksgiving, Cat is going to do Thanksgiving spread from scratch and not pre-made stuff from previous years. Now go back to previous years, and every single time he talked about Cat cooking, it was always from scratch. Something's not adding up here, Phil. And DSP wants Wings to do a show with him. However, he doesn't want Wings to go back to LOLCOW Live or anyone else's show. He wants him all to himself. He wants to be the new Keemstar to Wings of Redemption and control everything he does. Then he goes on to say that Kat has been watching food eating channels recently. I'm pretty sure it's not recently, it's every day of her life. And then we have this clip from DSP in Truck Sim.
Like, I feel like I'm doing better on FPS games playing on a gaming PC on mouse and keyboard.
You sure about that?
Did you see that shit? They wouldn't die.
And now we get to Tuesday. And the very first thing DSP talks about is how WrestleMania killed Smart Guys. That is right, he's saying Smart Guys failed because WrestleMania was bad. No, it failed because you're a jackass. Nobody cared about that, and the only reason people started watching that was because PPP was humiliating you like the loser that you are. And now DSP has a message for all the losers who say he's an e-bagger and he's not successful, dude.
So every single person on the internet that's ever called me an e-bagger, all I have to say is, I'm successful, you're not. Pull up. Thank you.
And you can tell how much of a fake fan of games DSP is. He said he started acting like Halo is the first FPS on consoles with any popularity. And Gelkel points out Doom, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, which DSP played all of those, doesn't exist at DSP. And he complained that his sleep got ruined, and who did he get ruined by? Jasper. You know, the cat he locks into his room, refuses to let him roam around the house. That is right, dude. He locks his cat son up and doesn't let him out. And shitting all over Wings of Redemption yet again, and Boogie, saying that they are cronies, and he doesn't talk to peasants. If Keemstar wants him on the show, he has to be a man and talk to him directly. I believe he tried this in the past before, remember, Phil? You were complaining he didn't contact you at the right time, the right method, and that started the whole meme of Keem saying, you're still on mission 1.
Frosted Shard asks, do you think Keem being too busy is an excuse to not directly contact you? Or do you think that he's being truthful about it? I don't care. I don't care if he's busy or not. I don't care if he's making it up. He knows how I operate now. It's not like, oh, I've never talked to Phil. I don't know about him. We've had a podcast appearance together where I interviewed him. I explained up front how I operate. And it's that simple. If he wants to talk to me about anything, he has to talk to me directly. He doesn't send his cronies after me or, No, you talk to me man to man if you're interested. Sorry, I'm worth your time. If you're interested, you got to talk to me. Period.
And now DSP is going to talk about his dinner. And he had a fancy wiener. That is right, he shoved a bunch of wieners down his throat. But they weren't any peasant wieners. They were fancy gourmet wieners.
How was dinner? Very simple, King Michael. Just some chicken sausages. These were garlic and Gruyere flavored on the sausage buns with some condiments. Very simple, high protein, delicious, easy to do, easy cleanup. Because my wife was working, didn't want to do anything crazy elaborate today. I don't blame her. Pretty good, you know, okay dinner. Like, it's not going to knock your socks off, but for a quick one, it's good.
And then DSP was saying how he's a real gamer, unlike game journalists who write reviews and play the game. LOLCOW again points out, says the guy who needs chat on what to do in the games. Remember, same guy who said, in Silent Hill F, you have to be Japanese to understand the puzzles. And this is amazing because when DSP's world comes crumbling down online, nobody's going to feel sorry for him, just like how he's not sorry about people losing their job at Twitch and saying they won't be able to get another job.
Roy says, thoughts on Twitch laying off thousands of employees. Now they're all venting on X, how it's not fair. Karma's real. Now they know how it feels to ban people for no reason. The writing's been on the wall regarding Twitch for about 5 years now. Like, no exaggeration. You could see the downward spiral of this website, and all of the public has been calling it out for a long time. And it's actually shocking it took this long for any negative consequences to hit that business for the way that it's been run. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. If they worked at Twitch this long and didn't expect like there was going to be a problem, that's on them. Everyone has seen it. Literally everyone. Even the top streamers on Twitch have been saying this place is fucked up. I mean, just look at what happened at TwitchCon in the last couple of weeks. Like, this is nuts. How would you not understand that this was going to happen? You know, this is not some shocker. This is not Microsoft out of nowhere deciding that they need to make money or be profitable and firing entire divisions of game developers out of nowhere. This is, dude, we saw how bad Twitch was getting over the years, and we saw the bad choices, and we saw the horrendous things that were on that site that were allowed to continue. And everyone on the internet called it out, and they were like, neener, we ignore you. Nya, 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 nya. What did you think was going to happen? You know? So let them complain on social media, but what will be more funny is when they try to find another job. Because they're not going to get one.
And then DSP was laughing that the word DSP is blocked in LTG's chat, despite PPP, Worski, Kino, Snorfort, Fat, Cat is Fat, Gout, Job, IRS, and among other things are banned in DSP's chat. And now DSP's going to go on and say, he doesn't care about people that are not supported. He just wants people to show up, give him money, and not care about the content.
Rambling Ray, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He says, I heard it's bad for streamers to wait for attendance to build up. You ever tried just jumping right into gameplay? That's completely stupid. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been doing live streaming now daily since 2017, early 2017. I can tell you right now, waiting to get some attendance and talking with the audience is the way to go. People get excited. They feel like it's more social. They get topics out of the way they want to address. Then when I jump into the game, we can actually focus on the game. It works this way. It's much better than just running right into the game like a moron. I'm on fire tonight. There are other streamers with more viewers and more support, but they don't need a build-up segment. Yeah, that's because their viewers are retarded. The viewers are there just to fuck around, and they don't really care about what content's on the stream at all. They're just there because they want to be with other people and act like it's a social event. They're not actually there to care about the content or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It's pretty easy to figure out.
And then we have bank leaks were real. Special event equals talking to another real human being for the first time in weeks. DSPGAMING. And you know what happened right after that? Ban. Gone. Forever. And now he makes his return to Ninja Gaiden 4. Let's see how well this went for DSP.
The Zombie Dance Club. on the dance floor. I have no idea what's vomiting on me. I haven't even seen it yet. So let's say we keep this pacing, and let's say that we keep beating 3 stages every stream, right? So it'd be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then probably the finale. So we need 4 more streams to beat Ninja Gaiden 4. Now here's the thing. This week, this is the only time I could even play the game, because this week I had a special event that happened earlier in the week. I got a Halloween marathon going on later in the week. So sadly, Ninja Gaiden 4 doesn't get played again until sometime next week, all right? So you guys will have to wait, if you like Ninja Gaiden 4, until next week to see more of it. And honestly, I have absolutely no idea what happened tonight when it came to support. When I'm looking at attendance, it's about the same. We have between 150, 200 on YouTube, and the usual attendance that we would have on Kick. Kick chat is very lively tonight. I don't know why no one supported. Like, seriously, I have no clue why we have such a slow stream. It's not the end of the world, but dude, 56 out of the 150, not as the third, is pathetic. So, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I'm just not in too much of a hurry now to play the game again. You know, if people are going to come out, but no one's going to support the stream, and people are just going to be, like, trolling on YouTube like this idiot's been doing all night, and everyone's just going to throw the moral support around on Kick and not actually support the stream, then I probably don't want to play it again right away. Being honest, it is what it is. Like, the thing is, earlier today, I had an amazing stream of Pokemon. I did. I had an amazing stream where we hit 2 goals. And it's obvious that, like, I keep telling you guys, what I think has happened is that my audience is changing. It used to be people wanted to come and see me rage at tough games. Now it's people just want to come and chill. Like, how is it that for Truck Sim last night, we had so much support? For Pokemon, a chill stream of Pokemon, we had so much support. Then I play an action-based game where I have to keep paying attention to the game because it's tough. No one cares. I'm just saying. Right? Is this not... I'm not imagining this, right? You guys are seeing it along with me. That the support is forthcoming for certain kinds of games, and it doesn't seem to be these kind of action-based games anymore, right? I think there will be some exceptions. For example... I do feel like that when Call of Duty Black Ops 7 comes out, that will do well, at least for a bit, because there's so many different ways to play Black Ops 7. You're going to have LMGs one night, right? All knifing another night. Handguns. Oh, now I'm going to go with a sniper rifle. Now I'm going to go with the assault rifle. I'll keep changing my builds. I'll be using different equipment. Oh, let's just do freaking, Nuketown, because I'm sure Nuketown will be in it. Let's do a Nuketown. You know what I mean? Like, that game has a lot going on for it and a lot of variety. And even though it's action-packed, I can still talk with you guys between the rounds, right? And you help me with builds and stuff for that game. I think that game will do well. I believe that. But I'm starting to see now, the more action-based games just are not doing that well anymore, guys. Just being honest, it's weird, isn't it?
And of course, 11 minutes, even though he got almost $300 on the first stream, he didn't hit the goal. He got like $52 on the night stream, and he puts this as the title, Daily Wrap. Pokemon soars, but Ninja Gaiden 4 fails? What's going on? AKA, people not giving me money. And he's now gonna tell people, you better start giving me money on Kick, otherwise I'm turning off. Moral messages, you're all freeloaders, better start paying up. I'm sick of this, I'm tired, give me money, dude.
What happened was, for the last week, people have been telling me something about Kick. They said, so, when you first enabled the moral support stuff, meaning you watch the channel, you earn channel points, you can redeem the channel points to get a highlighted message on stream, and then you got rid of the messages because basically it was discovered that you could troll. You could actually get banned for trolling, but then you could still use these support points you had saved up when you were watching to still do these messages, and you could say horrible things, like awful things, doxing and racist things. And that's what was happening, so I said, I just got to turn the messages off, okay? So someone said today, well, actually, someone's been asking for like 3 days. They said, so Kick finally figured that out and fixed it. Now, if you're banned, you can't use your moral support anymore. Therefore, it's safe to re-enable those messages. So for like 3 days, this person's been bothering me about it. Finally, earlier today, I said, fine, I'll just turn it on. So I did. Tonight, everyone's like, oh, let's moral support. And everyone's like, moral support, but no real support. We had like 1 or 2 people who actually did support tonight. A couple subs, some kicks, 2 super chats, maybe a small tip. That was it. And then everyone on Kick's like, oh, moral support, ha, 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 look, we're helping Phil. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're helping yourself. You're having a little party in there, basically. You know, oh, look at us. We have highlighted messages again. I could just turn it off. Because I think that's what it was. People just went, oh, let's troll Phil tonight, and we'll all use our highlighted messages, but no one will actually support his gameplay and his stream. Well, then I'm just going to fucking turn it off. So I'm honest. I'm being honest with you. The next time if I see a Kick stream like that, where people are acting like that, and there's no support at all, besides moral support, I'm just going to turn off the messages again. Because I did something nice for people on Kick today. I turned them back on. And then people didn't do anything nice for me. They basically screwed me. So I don't like that attitude. That's a bad attitude for them over there. And I think they know it too. I think that a lot of the Kick viewers tonight were doing it on purpose. As we know, a lot of the people who watch me on Kick are holdovers.
And now we get to Wednesday. And the very first thing we see is that YouTube will start to restrict more content showing graphic violence in video games. This will be one of the reasons DSP rage quits a game during his marathon. And of course, DSP shitting all over Wings yet again, saying he's more successful than Wings because he hits his goals. Remember last night when you were freaking out, you turned off moral support, you're threatening people, you're guilt tripping people, but remember, you're successful. And remember, Wings said 90% of what he made from LOLCOW Live, which he called doctor money, is away in savings. Then DSP goes on to say that Wings wants to be where Phil is right now. And then we have this absolutely disgusting picture of Phil trying to deep throat the mic. And now he's gonna shit all over his audience, say, I can't believe people are paying me for this Pokemon stream to name a Pokemon. And basically calling them retards in his own DSP way.
But basically, yeah, like that. What gets me is, I wish that Wings could be in a position where he could say, you know, I really don't want to go back to LOLCOW and I'm never going to. But he can't. He's afraid that at any moment, the rug can be pulled out from under him and he's just not making enough money on his channel. And then he has to go back to LOLCOW. So, I don't know. I'm trying to help him. I gave him advice. I said, dude, you got to stop playing Battlefield. You tell you right now, your audience is not going to support it. What does he do? He went right back to playing Battlefield. He's been playing it for 2 straight days, and his streams aren't doing well. I'm just being honest. Like, I think one stream he made like $60, then he made like $90, and then one stream he made like nothing. It's like, you're playing Battlefield. You're just talking with your group. No one on chat is engaged. No one's going to care. I think he'll probably do better when he goes back to Call of Duty in a 2.5 weeks or so. I think then he'll do better. But right now, playing Battlefield ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Buckwell says, you're not in a position to give advice. Buckwell, my streams do well. I hit my goals. I exceed my goals. I'm doing way better than he is on his streams. I'm in a great position to give advice because I'm where he wants to be doing content. If he could be doing what I'm doing right now on his gameplay streams, he'd be ecstatic. So what the fuck are you talking about? In what realm of reality do you think I'm doing poorly? Please explain how you think I'm doing poorly for myself right now. Dude, yesterday I sat here for 3.5 hours just shooting the shit with my audience, playing Pokemon. And I made almost $400 playing Pokemon. The point is, my content is working, his isn't, and I'm trying to help him. But he has to also be willing to want to listen to help. And I don't think that right now, like, I don't think that he thinks that anything that I told him is going to really help him, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know what he's doing ain't working with the Battlefield stuff. I know that for a fact. He needs to change it up and do something different. He's doing Dark Souls streams, and he calls them depression streams. And he makes more money on that than he does playing Battlefield. Okay. So why are you playing Battlefield? There you go.
And he got wailed out on the pre-stream, over $100. However, he says that's not good enough and demands more money. I wonder why people think you're a scumbag, Phil. And there you go, Pokemon, black character, fingernail in the mouth, just as usual. And we have this from Meaningful Content Reel. A picture of DSP with the buttons pressing out because of those big old titties. And he says, I'm successful, you're not. Then are you ready for the worst intro you've ever seen? It's DSP's podcast ending screen. Get ready for cringe.
Thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed the spooky season here with me on DSP Gaming. I wish you the best. I hope you'll still be here over the next couple of days to hang out with me on the shows. But the show will officially return on Sunday morning for more fun and epic adventures. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all Sunday. Peace out. How'd you guys like that? New outro. You like that? We have new outros now as well for the podcast. Although you probably didn't even notice it. Okay. Hey.
And DSP is in the end game for Silksong. So he's pretty much got the game down, right? He's pretty much mastered the controls, right? He's definitely not getting handhold, right? Well, all those questions are answered right now.
What the hell do I do here? Oh, I think that was it. I need to bounce off that onto him, maybe? Oh. There's no wall here, though. Shit. Shit, almost had it. Oh, I got it. Okay. Nice. Okay, hooey. Challenging. Someone to me too. What the fuck? Yo, fuck this. Fuck you, man. My thumb is throbbing. My thumb is fucking throbbing now. Oh. The run back. Oh, the run back is challenging. No, you moron. The run back wastes my fucking time and hurts my thumb. The boss fight is challenging. The boss fight is what I want to do. Put the fucking challenge in the boss, not in the run back to the boss so my fucking finger hurts. Awful game design. No reason ever for a fucking run back like this in a video game. It adds nothing at all. All it does is piss off the gamer. It reduces my enjoyment of the game. It gives me less time to focus on the boss. It hurts me physically. Stop fucking putting these in games. They suck. We got rid of them on purpose because the only reason runbacks needed to exist was because you had no space on the game cartridge. So you had to extend the length of your game by putting runbacks into the games to make them feel like they were longer, and it wasn't a rip-off to pay 50, 60, 70 bucks for a game that's 4 hours long. Guess what? This game is 60 fucking hours long. You don't need a run back. Literally doesn't need it at all.
Then we have a Be Nerdy in the chat. LOL, I'm now getting some hate for supporting DSP Gaming. Just received a message that said, why are all the DSP fans mentally challenged failed YouTubers? These people are a joke. Then we also have this, King Ferb's banned content enjoyer. He committed bank fraud to pull those 6-star Hogans. Cat is gone. Panda Lee was 17. Jaha should have finished the job. He has liver spots. And DSP announced that Cat is now playing Supermarket Simulator. And also she's playing Power Wash Simulator 2. Supposedly she canceled her Game Pass last week, but she's playing 2 games that were just recently added to Game Pass. What a suspicious thing that is. We have Alcoholic Style Beggar. He doesn't have any mods. He has liver spots. Big disgusting liver spots at the ripe age of 43. Down from the Rafters last active 44 minutes ago. He's wifeless. Wings is my friends now, guys. People like me now. And DSP is so delusional in his working out and his fitness that he thinks if he works out a little bit more, he'll have enough strength to karate chop a board in half. You will never do that, Phil, but it'll be funny watching you try that. And then someone brought up that fiber internet in his area was recently installed, but he doesn't want to pay for it because it's too expensive, and he says he won't pay $1,000 a month for internet. Everything in this man's mind costs $1,000. And then he's getting to the night stream, low support yet again, despite the earlier stream having over $200. He says he can't have 2 back-to-back night streams be low support. And everybody better start paying up. And the guy who says he loves survival horror, classic survival horror, is complaining that fixed camera angles are fucking him over in Tormented Souls 2. And yet again, despite his Switch he says cannot play online, despite him not playing very many games on Nintendo Switch, or even the online Nintendo catalog, he's still paying for Nintendo Online. And he's also confused how people can have 4 names. And he says that doesn't make sense. And ladies and gentlemen, everything's going back pre-Kino. The gamer shirts, the hats, the vest. And now, he says he's back to being a trans and gay ally. And DSP's getting pissed about the low support. And even at one point, talking about support, he says, do I have to spell it out for you? So let's see the wildest crash out of this month so far for DSP, as the support is low, and he's now blaming Kick and saying, you better support me, you better be nice to me, give me that money now.
So, alright, let's get to shoutouts. There's nothing to shout out. Come on. That was the cue. Come on. That was the cue. Do I really need to spell it out for you? Come on. Oh, man. Son of a bitch. All set. All set. I fixed my error. No more messages for moral support. Because you guys are abusing the moral support system, thinking that's funny, joking about it, and saying, oh yeah, moral support, and then no one supports. So you get nothing now. I was nice to you. I was nice enough to you to give you Kick viewers something extra that you wanted, and then you took away. That's not how life works. You're supposed to reciprocate when someone does something nice for you. You're not supposed to now be a dick and try to troll. So now I took it away, and you're not going to get it back. Maybe if we start getting consistent Kick support again, like we had, then maybe I'll give you the messages back. Let's see what happens, because right now, you've done absolutely nothing to earn my trust or get those messages. Well, I Smoke Crack did a $5 super chat. Says, thanks for the scary content. You're welcome, I Smoke Crack. We're up to 65 of support. So now we only need a few more of those. Like another, 20 of those. Hit tonight's goal. So can we get 20 more $5 super chats right now? That'd be great. Okay? We had 1 or 2 people who did 100 kicks. That's it. So literally on Kick tonight, I made less than $10. So what am I streaming over there for? People used to be supportive over there. Now it's like they just want to fucking troll. And like I said, I think turning on those messages for moral support was actually a legit mistake. Because now people are just going to do that and joke around and laugh that they're not supporting. So I'm just going to turn it off. If people were actually still supporting over there, maybe I would be like, I don't care, but now I'm actually pissed. Because you guys think it's a fucking joke. No, it's not a joke. I gave you something nice that you said you wanted, and then you actually took stuff away from me. So that's fucked. Foil nails, okay.
And the Kick chat is negative, toxic, disengaged, and not supporting whatsoever. Does it now happen 2 nights in a row? Now, particularly, last night, someone had been bugging me for days and days saying, hey, we want you to turn on the moral support messages again. I talked about this last night. Just to summarize, when you're watching someone on Kick, you earn channel points for how long you watch them. You can use those channel points for various things, like wagers, where you can wager the points. Hey, will this happen or will this happen, right? Will Phil clock out by this time period? Will Phil win this next match? Stuff like that. Yeah, but in addition, there's these messages that you could do highlighted, and originally you could actually put text and stuff in them, but we had to turn them off because what we found out is that there's a loophole that trolls could get banned from the channel, but then they could still do these messages. So they would get banned and they would start doing moral support messages that say horrible things, racist things, dox, and all kinds of messed up stuff. We had to turn it off. Apparently this week, Kick fixed it. So people were bugging me for 2-3 days to turn it on. I was like, all right, I'll help you guys out. You know, you guys have been great recently. You've been supporting me or whatever. So I'll turn these messages on. So last night, I'm not even kidding you, I turned the messages on and immediately all support stopped on Kick. I wish that this was an exaggeration. This is literally cause and effect what happened. I turned these messages on last night. People start all use all my moral support to get messages in chat to get noticed, and then no support came in. So last night, Ninja Gaiden 4, we ended the stream at $50 of support, which almost all of it had come from the YouTube side. What the hell gives? The YouTube side engaged. We had 5 to 10 people who were really into it. They were talking with me the whole time. They were helping me with puzzles. People were supporting with super chats like crazy tonight. On the Kick side, was there a lot of people in the chat? Yes. Were they actively engaged in the game? Not really. They were saying it was boring. Were they supporting? Not at all. You want to know what they were doing? Highlighted messages. Oh, moral support message, moral support message, moral support message. Well, that's great. I don't get paid for that. Okay? So I did everyone a solid last night. I said I'll turn these messages back on because you've been so supportive. Then they decided to take the support away. I'm not even kidding. Tonight we had 1 sub. Maybe 500 to 700 kicks. So I think overall the entire night I made like $12 on Kick. So the people who are watching on Kick, it's not everyone. I want to be clear and abundantly upfront, transparent. It's not everyone on Kick, okay? There are also people on Kick who are still supporting. But it's like I've said months ago. The people who are watching on Kick, the vast majority of them, they're people who are there to troll. There are people who are still hanging out from Kino Casino. Don't ask me why. They come by. They have their little good old boys club mentality. This is why I kind of have lax moderation on Kick. I don't want to sit there moderating this thing all night. I just don't. But at the same time, there's also been a positive element of support on Kick. Now for 2 nights, there hasn't been. All right? So here's what I did. At the end of the night, I said, fine, have it your way, and I turned off the highlighted messages. And I'm not turning them back on. At least not until support returns. Because I was getting the support, I gave an extra thing as a way to say, here's a reward for being so nice to me. And then people said, well, then we'll just stop being nice to you. I thought it's the opposite. I thought in life what happens is people are nice to you, you reciprocate, so now everyone just keeps that nice relationship going. I didn't think it was, oh, someone's nice to you, so you're nice back, so then they start punching you in the face. I just don't get it. 2 nights in a row this has been so, I had enough. So now the question is this a situation where this is going to be an ongoing thing with Kick? Where it's just going to be people who are there and they're just going to troll and not support? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not going to sit here and get abused by this audience who's sitting there. Oh, look at these highlighted messages, but no one's going to support. Ha, 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 this is funny. That's what the messages are saying too. Ho, 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 support. That's not support. Now, let's see what happens between now and next week. I hope that this pattern, this nonsensical pattern on Kick does not continue, okay? If support returned and people start supporting again, I'll probably turn on the highlighted messages again so that people could get, some nice messages in there. Again, it's a way to reciprocate, okay? Let's see what happens. All right, let's go from there. I don't want to be a negative person, but man, people were being complete dicks to me in chat tonight. They were laughing about it. They thought it was funny. Yeah, real funny. And then I turned off the messages, and guess what? The laughing stopped. All of a sudden, the bitching began. You took away our messages. Yeah, because you're using them in a very negative, toxic way. You're actually hurting the business that I'm trying to run. I don't care about you. But no, you don't take away income because you think it's funny. That's not how it works. All right? So, I'm not going to be sitting there streaming to a void of people who are just sitting there being dicks, which is exactly what just happened 2 nights in a row.
And then we see the daily wrap, 15 minutes about support. And he titles it, Amazing Progress and Support for Silk Song, Kick Tries to Troll? Nope. And now we get the Thursday. First thing we see, Phil deep throwing his mic. He's got to get that OIC money, dude. And DSP says today, if Mortal Kombat does not do well, he is dropping it. That is right. Wage/rage quitting a game before you even play it. And remember how DSP always says, don't listen to reviewers, they are not real gamers. Everybody should enjoy the games at the same time and make up their own minds. Don't be sheep. Well, now he's choosing to play games based off how well they reviewed. Make that make sense. And of course, doing the LTG, he is not starting MK until he gets $50 first. Spoilers, he did not get $50. Very first match he goes into, he gets absolutely destroyed by the CPU. Absolutely pathetic, but hilarious at the same time. And now it's time to see Mr. 4th place at EVO, first in North America, how well he does at the Legacy Collection of Mortal Kombat.
Pretty nuts.
Raiden. Fight.
If he's even close, he gets a free throw. Okay.
Raiden wins. Fight.
Trying.
Excellent.
Wow. I jumped. I did press jump. Didn't do anything.
Johnny Cage is just skinny in this one. He's like no muscles at all. Yo, I'm bigger than the Johnny Cage actor. I seriously am buffer than the fucking Johnny Cage actor in this game. What the fuck? Yeah. Johnny Cage, dude. You gotta start working out. Yeah. 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 He got pissed I said that. Yo, he got pissed. He fucked me up. That's hilarious. But even like, oh.
Plan is to lure his enemies to compete in the outworld where they will meet certain death by Shao Kahn himself. Now, admittedly, Shao Kahn almost has a physique as good as mine. All right, so maybe this will be a pretty epic challenge. We'll have to see. Can't move. Look, can't do anything. Guaranteed hits, free win. Can you actually do this in the real game? No. You can't. What he's doing is impossible. You literally can't walk forward, throw a sweep in this game. But the AI can do it. But you can't. In the real game, you can't do that. So the game just literally cheats and does things that aren't possible in real combat. Yeah, it would be nice. You gotta use the exploits. It would be nice if you could tell me what they are. I'm not someone who played this arcade back in the day. I only played it against humans. I never played against the CPU because it always cheated. Doesn't work. What you're doing doesn't work in the real game. This never works in the real game. Can't do anything. What? I jumped back to punish it. He hit me anyway. It hit me anyway. Oh my god, yo. So cheesy. But I think you guys can understand why people never played the fucking arcade. I'm serious. Like, they only played against people. You would, if there's no one playing, you'd walk away. Like, I'm not playing this. It was so insane. Why the fuck would you even play this? Yeah. He does like triple damage for no reason. That's how they used to cheat back in the day. The computer does like 3 times as much damage as you do for no good reason just because it's fucking cheating and wants to take your quarters. By the way, no, you can't uppercut that. You're supposed to be able to uppercut it clean, but the game cheats. Again, what he does, that's literally impossible in the real game. That doesn't work. That's right, it is. This is for complete sadists, 100%. It's just completely busted nonsense. Zero skill to it. You have to learn the pattern to cheese the AI because the AI cheats so bad. Cheated. 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 Well, I don't know. Maybe one or two more Scorpion. I think I'm just going to change to a good character. Because, I mean, how are you going to beat it when your fucking game is completely cheating? You need to pick one of the cheesy characters. Cheated. Again cheated. Yep, cheated again. Yep, cheated again. Yo, every time he throws through the sweep, he's cheating. I'm not even kidding. You can't do that in the real game. You can't walk forward and perfectly time a counter to slam every time. It's completely impossible. There it is. It ain't gonna work because the AI's gonna cheat, but... Cheated again. Cheating, 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 cheating. Look, every hit is cheating. Every single fucking hit. Every single hit is reading the input and cheating. Literally nothing that's even like they programmed it to do anything normally. It just cheats non-stop. The hardest AI is Melina and Katana. I'm gonna have to cheese. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to cheese. You can't beat it legit. The game cheats too hard. You can't play it for real at all. The game is completely full of shit. That was really lame. Yeah, so basically everything he's doing, I'm not kidding you, you can't do in the real game. You can't turn around in the middle of the match and do a fireball backwards. That's not possible. You can't throw from the distance he throws. That's not possible. It's just insane how bad this cheats. And the funny part is, people thought that Street Fighter cheated. No, this game cheats way more than Street Fighter ever did. It's 100% like inventing impossible scenarios so it can win. Pretty fucking cheap. That's the other thing too, and it literally would do this. If you start to win, it'll drop your inputs. It'll actually make it so your moves don't come out. Like, what the fuck? Cheated twice. That's two fake throws you can't do. Cheated again. Cheated again. Punch, throw. Impossible. If you're at punch distance, you literally can't throw. So the fact that the computer can throw after that punch means it's completely cheating and the throw is like moving forward and sucking you in. Cheated. I want you to think about it. The sweep doesn't hit, but then she throws. How are you're telling me your throw is wider than a sweep range in the game? No, it's not. It's the AI cheating. Cheated. Yeah, it would be nice. You gotta use the exploits. It would be nice if you could tell me what they are. I'm not someone who played this arcade back in the day. I only played it against humans. I never played against the CPU because it always cheated. $7 tip from oh, they want me to see. All right, pro tip. If you want me to keep you anonymous, don't say, hey, it's me, but I want to be anonymous. Dude, don't say your name first. Say, I want to be anonymous. By the way, it is, because I almost read your name. Anyway. But, all right, so, everyone, if you're enjoying today's stream, please support it. Like I said, we had a good amount of support before I started playing. The moment I started playing, we haven't had a single piece of support. I'm serious. Literally 0. So, please, let's get a tip. Let's get a super chat. Let's get a membership. Let's get some subs. Let's get some kicks. Let's get some support for Mortal Kombat today. If you've been enjoying the collection so far, please support. All right? Okay, let's go. Right now, let's go. Before I'm going to boot it up, we're going to do Mortal Kombat 2. We haven't even hit $50 yet. Let's go. Here we go. 100 kicks from I Love Work. Thank you to I Love Work for 100 kicks. Very nice. 35 is support. Let's keep it rolling. Who's next? Let's get a sub. Let's get our first sub of the day. Actually, take it back. Lance Catamaran did a sub already. This would be our second sub of the day. Let's get some support for classic fighting games. Okay. Let's go. Let's get some going. Castro Jenkin, 52 months as a member, says Mortal Kombat 2 is my first Mortal Kombat game as a kid. There you go. Excellent. Will we get any support? Thank you for re-upping your membership, but that doesn't count as support for the stream. Can we get some support right now before we play MK2? Come on, guys. It's been an hour and a half since I got any support. Actually, I take it back. It's actually been 2 hours since I got support on the stream. It was 11:46 when Super Gaming Lagoon sent a super chat. There we go.
Then we have parking lot tears. Yeah, the CPU is definitely cheated. They should just stand there with their arms behind their back while crying about being an alcoholic like you did with Jaha in the parking lot. And the first stream did not hit the goal. However, the second stream had a hero, Jax Cuckster, with $150, who we haven't seen since the last time DSP did Friday Night Fights. And he says, "Good evening, Phil, and I'm back. It's awesome to see you playing classic fighting games again. Hope you have fun tonight with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I played the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 1 and bought it, and it brought me memories of my 7-year-old self when I first played it." And then, right after that, $100 tip from Troy Smith. And you know what that means? DSP is now celebrating how successful he is, because he got over $200 from 2 people. And we have Jade here, whatever the fuck this means. DSP Gaming, first one, DDU, UHP, DDLU, run is 2-1. And Warden, whoever told you to play this game was trolling you, Phil. This game is way too hard for you. I think there's a remix of turn-based JRPGs this week. And of course, DSP still angry at Kick for not giving subs. And he's telling them, if you want moral messages back on, you better start giving me money, dude. Amazing, amazing, Phil. Paywalling basic functions of a platform.
It sure would be great to get some good Kick support tonight. Kick support has been insanely slow in the last several days. So if it picks up tonight, that would be great. It sure would get you guys on the path to getting back those morale messages. But hey, when Kick is slow, I ain't going to give you extra stuff, man. Okay.
And another video, 15 minutes of shame on DSP. Entitled Kick Streamer, DSP is extorting money from viewers. And then we have these messages in chat. Jax can't even afford a car, but he can afford to be a pay pig for the happiest, most successful streamer on the platform. Money well spent. Did you get your rocks off, Jax Raxter? And of course, him saying he's buffer than Johnny Cage made it to the Kino Casino, and this is their response.
Johnny Cage is so skinny in this one. He's like no muscles at all. Yo, I'm bigger than the Johnny Cage actor. I seriously am buffer than the fucking Johnny Cage actor in this game.
Okay. And now we get to Friday, the last streaming day of the week for DSP, and we're going to start today with a DSP in the wild.
Let's just please stop. And I'm channeling Darkside Phil. What are you fucking talking about, man? Darkside Phil gets pissed because, hey guys, I'm playing video games, and I'm not going to play the next video game unless I get $100. I'm not doing that shit, you moron. All right, and the reason Darkside Phil has to whore himself is because he has no personality, he's a disgusting-looking piece of shit, and he has no talent whatsoever. Anyway, Moose 10321. Happy Taco Tuesday, Ghost. More beer. Thank you, dude. Cheers to you, man.
And here we see Spirit Halloween's failed streamer costume, and look at that, it's DSP. 50% off too, dude. And then it was time to reveal what he dressed up as for Halloween. And it was as cringe as you think. Remember, he said this was an elaborate costume.
Hello and welcome. I am Bihan of the Lin Kuei clan, and I welcome you to DSP's Halloween Spooktacular for 2025. Today, I will use my powers of cryomancy to guide you through 8 horror-themed games that you, the viewers of DSP Gaming, nominated over the last month. We will also eat, drink, and partake in Halloween festivities all day long. What's going on?
And of course, everybody was comparing it to Foodie Beauty and made jokes about Phil becoming a Muslim. And of course, DSP had to show this off, the Jack Daniels that he will drink for shots for $100, and also that big ass bottle of whiskey, $100 a shot. But it didn't stop there. The begging for shots and money and alcohol was out of control. This was one of his worst marathons of all time, especially a Halloween marathon. Well, let's hear Phil beg for money so he can get some shots into him. But remember, he's a recovered alcoholic.
What game is next? SCP. We're gonna do SCP. Let's go. I'm gonna get ready to pour. We gotta hit that 200 right now. See, I don't. After Ghost says you're not gonna like any of the indie horror games. I don't know if that's the case. I just want a game that, like, it's easier to play and actually has scares. Like, that game was trying to get scary, but it was just a series of jump scares and then horrible gameplay. Like, I'm sorry, the gameplay was not engaging at all. It was super boring. You know, like, give you highlighted messages. Maybe if you guys supported on Kick, I would give you highlighted messages. Did you ever think, yeah? I said this in the last couple of days. If people on Kick would become supportive again, then I would give you what you want. I gave you what you wanted, and then you stopped supporting. So what made you think that I was going to give it back to you? Like, no, I'm being serious. The last few days, most of the support, the vast majority, has come from YouTube. It has, 100%. It's weird because earlier in the week, I said to Kick, I would like to reward you guys for being so supportive. I'm going to give you your highlighted messages back. I did, and then for 2 straight nights, Kick refused to support the stream. That's the opposite of how it works. What works is, I say, gee, thanks, here, let me give you something extra, and then we keep the relationship going. Now, oh, you get something like, oh, well, now we'll just stop. No, that's not how it works. It's called reciprocation. If we get a lot of support today on Kick, I will give you by the end of the stream, at the end of the day, I will give you back your highlighted messages. But we have to get support on Kick today. It's that simple, all right? I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. If you guys drop some subs, if you drop some kicks, and we get a good amount today, then I will turn those back on for you. All right? What's hilarious is they don't like that. These are the trolls in the Kick chat, not the supporters, but the trolls, and they sit there and they, we'll just give it to us for free. Anyway. No, you guys are idiots. Boy, they're so dumb. The trolls, but we watch and you get paid for when we watch. You have no idea how little it is. The only people who make big money on the KCIP program are people who have thousands of viewers a day. I'm serious. If you have like 1,000 viewers plus on your stream and you're on under KCIP, then you're making some decent bank. Outside of that, you're making $1 an hour. It's a joke. It's not anything that's a waves that you're getting paid. It's absolutely ridiculous what you're saying. You just have no clue what you're talking about because you're not in the program. Yeah. Yeah, Kick is full of trolls on Resolution. It is. I'm not even kidding. About 90% of the people over there are troll accounts or sock accounts. And they just sit there screaming, memeing, complaining, spamming emotes, doing negative stuff for the most part. And it sucks because there are some good people on Kick. There are. But it's like 10%. So it's like, I'm talking to YouTube chat, we're having a good time, we're engaging, we're talking about the games we're having. Then I turn to Kick chat and it's like spam of toxic shit and whining that there's no messages and shit's like, what? It's like I'm talking to adults and I'm talking to children. And that's sad. It really is. And like I said, we were getting good support on Kick for a long time. And then all of a sudden, this week, it just stopped right in the middle of the week. After I'd already given them something extra, I'd actually turned on these special highlighted messages for them. And then they stopped supporting the streams. And I was like, well, that's the opposite of how it works. So I turned them back off. And ever since then, it's been like a bitchy attitude from a bunch of these troll accounts. That's all it is. It's this flat sock accounts of the trolls. It's not the actual fucking people who like my content that are over there. For the most part, there's a few people, like I said, who are nice over there, but it's not the majority over there. Thank you, Code Oink, for $1. And it's sad because the reason is it's a lot of the holdovers from the casino. You know what I mean? They've been sticking in the chat, and they get banned 1 million times for violating the rules. They come back with 10 more fucking sock accounts. They won't go away. That's exactly what it is. And they think, oh, look at this, look at us. No one cares. I allow them to do what they want because I feel like I like the co-streaming. And like I said, we do have some people over there who are supported from time to time, which is nice. But it certainly isn't happening today. It wasn't happening almost all week. Yesterday there was some support during World Combat, but hasn't been happening at all recently. So, I'm not really an entertainer nonsense. Okay. Let's get set up for SCP, shall we? There's a little break.
And one of the first games he played was the Mortuary Assistant, which is an amazing game. I love it. But Phil found it boring and said, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do, dudes? Someone's got to tell me what to do. He's looking for the yellow paint and says it's boring, not scary, and doesn't tell you what to do. And that's his issues. But more so, he thought it would violate YouTube's graphic detail violence policy in games, and he said he didn't want his stream to get demonetized, so he quit the game.
All you can do is move the gurney, but you can't do anything with it. It would help if the game would explain what the fuck to do to play the game for it to be good. It's kind of a problem. The game doesn't tell you what you're doing. Like it said to put the body in the fridge. That's great. How? There's no controls to do that. So either you guys tell me what to do or we can't play this. Oh, look, there was a guy, saw him. But if it's like hyper realism, like, oh, it's a real dead body and you're fucking with it, like YouTube will like flag and demonetize content. I don't even know if I could do this. Are they gonna have you actually chop up the body? Then I can't do it. I literally can't keep playing. Like, I didn't know it was going to be that extreme. I thought stuff was going to start happening. I didn't know I have to chop the body up. No, it's now. I'm telling you, they've been demonetizing now. Like, they've been flagging and demonetizing shit now. So I don't know if I can do this. I don't know what they actually want me to do, but I don't know if I can do it. What are you even supposed to do? Like, carotid artery. I don't know what that is. Where's the carotid artery? I can't even click. Look. Like right here. Dude, if I do this, it's going to show it. It's totally going to show it. Can't do it. Okay. The mortuary is...
It's funny too, because he was worried about the graphic stuff in this and was worried about chopping up body parts. Even though you don't do that as a mortuary assistant, he would go on to play No I'm Not a Human and then take out a pistol and blow people's heads off in the most gory detail. It's definitely not because you only made like $2 during this gameplay. And not only did he find mortuary assistant boring and not scary, doesn't tell you what to do, he said he loved Poppy's playtime and it's exciting, scary, and innovative. And the money was still not coming in. And he was worried he's not going to have any more alcohol, and he said, guys, you better give me some alcohol now or I have to get a coffee, dude. The lamest threat I've ever heard. Then he got his food and he went on a rant about immigrants coming to the country and being delivery drivers when they can't read instructions. Same guy who's handheld in every game and doesn't read instructions in game. And now DSP's gonna have the biggest lie in the last 30 seconds. And he's gonna claim he does 30 push-ups in every set when he works out. But remember, dudes, as well, his arm is fucked up. He can't fully extend it. He can put pressure on it, but he does 30 push-ups every time.
How many push-ups can I do? Right now, when I do my night where I have the push-ups in there, I do around 30, only because my arm is still recovering. It has nothing to do with my, like, the muscles. It's the arm, my elbow is screwed up from hurting it a while ago. So I'm doing like 30 push-ups, and I'm trying to increase, and I am. Like, I only started with 10 because my arm was killing me. Then I got to 20, now I'm at 30. I'm going to keep going. Slow progress, though. It has to be because I hurt my elbow.
He also lied and claimed he's 185 pounds and buff. And of course, if something is called another name in a different country, DSP finds that weird. And he says the UK fries are called chips, and then goes on to explain why they're wrong for calling it that. Of course, eternal victim. He did nothing wrong, he did everything correct, he's always right. He's never wrong, he's Big Brain Brunel. Now, if you want it summed up about him in the Sub-Zero costume and flexing, because he said he worked out his arms to make this costume work. Let's look at a little animation from Meaningful Content Reel.
I can't help it. Dude, if I just go like this with my arm, it looks like that now. I'm not flexing. I'm literally not. Like, I know my arm used to be it used to be super skinny, right? It didn't used to look like this. It was like ultra skinny. I know. But now, because I'm working out, look, I'm literally not flexing my arm. That's just how it looks.
And he got his Asian food. And of course, eating it like a maniac, like he just got out of prison. And when he played No I'm Not a Human, there was a cat-style character inside. And of course, he lived out his fantasy, and he blew her brains out. And I've never seen this before. I've seen several people play this game. I've never seen anyone get a game over in No I'm Not a Human. And now it's time to check out DSP's, and I quote, gameplay of Left 4 Dead. And you can tell he's gotten worse since the last time he played it. And you would think on mouse and keyboard he'd be better than on a controller. Well, this is DSP we're talking about here.
Is this the last one of this campaign? I don't know. We got a couple of tips. We got a couple of super chats and things to shout out and add to the leaderboard. I just haven't had a chance. Picked up explosive ammunition? How'd I do that?
Hey Phil, beg more.
Look.
Oh, apparently there's voice chat in this.
You're not even tipsy. Come on, beg more, buddy.
Yeah, who is that? This Kohi guy?
Shout out to ALT, shout out to Raw Phil.
I don't know how to do voice chat in this. I had no idea there even was voice chat in this.
And look at the leaderboard. We have a cat grilled friend, 100 kills. Shaved Wallaby, 61 kills. Rubu, 54 kills. And then at the bottom, Darkside Phil, 14 kills. And all the games were failing. Every single one he quit almost. He was complaining there's no controller support. They're all bad games. They're boring. And berated his audience for choosing bad games for his marathon, which is absolutely hilarious. So when he does these nominations, he always takes out games he thinks will not work for the marathon, but leaves everything else in, plays it, doesn't work, and blames the audience. Shouldn't you do the research and find out which games would work for your marathon and which ones don't? Then he played Clover Pit and didn't understand the game, didn't understand what was going on, and said, oh, it's a game of luck, I don't like this. And then Project Zomboid. He was complaining about the text size and saying, if nobody tells me what to do, I'm not playing this, it's over. Then he finally played it, and the game that's universally loved, the game that everybody likes and is hyped up, DSP can't understand it. He doesn't know what's going on, it's too complicated for him. And he lashes out about all the ball suckers and how horrible this game is, and it's a meme game.
You could have also pressed space to shove her. Right now, we need to go for the head. Line yourself up using the right mouse button. Use the circle at the bottom of the isometric cursor. Target the head. I can't. Your fucking thing's in the way. You're in the way, you idiot. Loot and equip the hunting knife. Okay. C to crouch. This is a zombie. Sneak around. Okay. Hey guys, remember a few minutes ago when I was playing Left 4 Dead and we were murdering hundreds of zombies and doing cool things? Remember that? Hey look, we're playing Project Zomboid now. Look what we're doing. What do they want me to do? Click the large backpack in the loot panel to show interaction options. You see a large backpack? You see tank top, strapless bra. Why do you have a strapless bra? Socks, shoes, red spots, pants, and a large silver looped earring. I don't see this. Make sure you're standing over the corpse. Right-click the large backpack in the loot panel. Where do you see a large backpack in the loot panel? Huh? What the fuck are they talking about? Look. Huh? Where do you see a large backpack anywhere in any loot panel? This is the loot panel. Okay. Got it. Where do you see a large backpack? Right-click the large backpack in the loot panel to show interaction options. There is no large backpack in this loot panel. You see this, right? There's something blinking over here. What is this? What? What is that? Yo, fuck this game. This game is fucking unplayable. You can't see anything. and the tutorial's awful. Fuck this piece of shit. I'm not gonna waste time on it. It's garbage. $13. Viral sensation. The game is ass. It's a piece of unoptimized trash, and I'm not fucking playing it. I'm gonna play real games. Look what it even did. Look what it did to my Steam. Look what it did. How do I fix my Steam now? Look what it did. How do I get this full screen now? Look at, what happened to my text? Yo, the game literally fucked my whole PC up. Oh my God. Yeah, viral sensation. A viral sensation, everyone. What an amazing game. Really worth everyone's time to play Project fucking Zomboid in 2025. Look, it doesn't even work. I can't even move my Steam. Look, I can't go full screen. I can't do anything. It fucked my Steam up. All right, please do us all a favor. If you want to play old-ass unoptimized games, you could do it. And keep it to yourself. So we can play good games. I literally just played Left 4 Dead 4. And yes, excuse me, Left 4 Dead 2. Obviously, this gamepad wasn't working. But the game played fine. We played for half an hour, had a ton of fun. And there was action, and you shot things, and it was cool. In this game, you slow fucking around in menus. Click this, click that. Fucking microscopic shit I can't read. Tutorials like, fuck this. Stop wasting my time with this garbage. Look at this. And now I can't even I gotta close and open my Steam because it's fucked up. I gotta Control-Alt-Delete it because look what it did to it. What a piece of garbage. Wow. I'm really glad that we played that, folks. All right, anyway. Let's hope that the remaining 2 games are good. I'm serious. I have to Control-Alt-Delete Steam?
And DSP ended up at $600 for the entire day, basically 2 days of streams. When in the past, he would get 1,000 plus, sometimes 1,200, sometimes 1,500, sometimes 2,000. Those days are long gone, and especially after service and platform fees, he ended up at a total of $473 after fees. Absolutely disastrous. I think this is the worst performing Halloween marathon he's ever done. And we have these comments in chat. DSP begs for alcohol. Nice game of marathon where you only played about 80 minutes of games total in the last 6 hours. Begside Phil. Hey DSP Gaming, how does it feel to be 40 plus and have nothing to show for your life? You've burned through everything you've ever had. No savings, no retirement, and when the whales leave, you'll be homeless. And we also have this in chat. Code 220. You defended DERICH for years. Cat left you. What's it like being all alone beside your stalker fan named Ryan? And of course, Daily Rap complaining that Kick's not giving him enough money. And he expects them to pick it up next week. And that's how the week ended for DSP. If you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe. Subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.